morning. Today is day 46. I counted last night and I still forgot. I'm pretty sure it's 46. Stayed in the shelter last night. I think this was our first time that we stayed in a shelter and really knew that we had mice around us. I could hear them crinkling around like the top of my sleeping pad before I fell asleep. So I just threw my sleeping bag liner over my head and hoped for the best till I got hot in the middle of the night, and then I just hoped for the best. And my dad said he heard them crawling over him, running over the top of his sleeping bag at some point in the night too. But it was a cool shelter. It sounded like it got awfully windy last night, so it was maybe better than being out in the wind. But then that vault had or knob, I guess it was. Yeah, it was Chestnut Knob. So the knob had a big open view to the east. And so we all got up at like 6 in the morning and watched the sunrise. But mostly what was cool is in this it's kind of like a crater where I think they said it was a big limestone sinkhole. And so in that little valley, the fog had settled in really cool into the little farms. And so that was cool. But then there's some low-lying clouds, so the sunrise wasn't that spectacular. But it got us all up early, going early. So yeah, I was out the door at 7 o'clock. So I think it's all downhill today. We have 22 miles into Bland where we need to resupply. But I figure by the time we get those 22 miles done, it's going to be night. And not going to be able to really resupply and then get back out on trail. So we're going to do 18 today. Just do a couple into town tomorrow. Probably going to have to hitchhike, which might be, I hitchhiked out of Klingman's Dome, but eventually it was just the guy that was packing up next to us that felt bad for me and gave us a ride. So this might be my first true on the side of the road thumbing at hitchhiking. So hopefully somebody will give us a ride tomorrow into town. I'll stop at a shelter at 10 miles and eat lunch, and then they say that there is I think the creek kind of bottoms out and there's a swimming hole there, so probably end up going swimming. Might end up just jumping in fully clothed because I got another 4 days until I can do laundry. So yeah, that might be my bathing and laundry day. is day 47. I just looked and I still managed to forget. We camped it last night, like 6.8 from town alongside the river so that we didn't have to carry water in, because there's just not really any good campsites from here to town. So we called it a short day. We only did like 15, I'd say it was 15.8 yesterday. I got up somewhat early this morning, put on my wet clothes because I washed those in the river last night, and put my wet clothes on, got packed up, was ready to go by 8, so it was like a half an hour early. And then a guy walked past saying that in the parking lot right by us, right by the campsites there, they're doing trail magic. And so I ended up going down there. I was really hoping for a cup of coffee, but instead they had pops and beers. And I opted not to have a 8 a.m. beer, but went for an 8 a.m. pop and brownies instead. And I ate a banana. So now I'm like an hour behind my dad. He's probably gonna be happy that he had to wait there for that long for me. But yeah, so we're gonna do this. Oh, these bugs are driving me crazy. So yeah, we're gonna do the 6.8, run into town, resupply, grab lunch. I get to hitchhike again. And then we're gonna head back out. And I guess and say we're probably going to be doing another 10 this afternoon to get to a shelter, because the water situation through this stretch is kind of terrible. As somebody on Guthook commented that water sources are dry. I hope this section of trail withers and dies, because it's not even like the part that yesterday that was supposed to be pretty wasn't really that pretty. Instead, it was just rocky and hard to walk through, and yeah, it's just not really pretty, and there's not good water. There's water sources listed and they're dry already, and it's, what this at May. It's been a pretty dry spring though, so I guess I see why. But it really kind of sucks, I finally kind of got to where I wasn't constantly dragging way too much water, and now stuff's dry and we got like 7-mile long water carries, and I have to go back to dragging too much water. So that really blows. These little things are set up in various places along the trail. Oh, they're cute. I just don't really know how I feel about them. Don't know that nature really needed their little fairy gardens sitting about. Next like mile and a half of trail is a roadwalk, which is always fun. Luckily right now it's gravel road, and I only got to do a half mile of it. Then we go into, I got to hitch into town, and then there's like after that, then we'll have to road walk right onto the interstate and stuff. So, this will be fun. Road walking. Sometimes your best views are when they have cleared a bunch of it out for power lines, but then you have power lines in your views. How many times do you think deer carcasses happened before they made the sign for it? 600 miles. Hit the 600-mile mark. My feet hurt. I have blisters. My knees hurt. My legs hurt because I have bug bites all over them. My shoulders hurt. Back hurts. Everything hurts. I'm sweaty. And I'm smelly. And I'm ready to do it for like another 1,500 miles. Over 1,500 miles. 1,593.1. Let's keep going. That's a fancy one. And because we have to have both a painted sign and one in rocks or sticks, we have the 600.1 marker. Frick. I just jumped a deer and I didn't see it until I heard it. After I heard it, and it scared the shit out of me because I thought it was a bear. Oh, fuck, that was scary. This little guy that I saw today, standing right in the middle of the trail like he owns the place. Good morning. It is, I don't know what day it is. 48, maybe. I don't know. I didn't go to bed until it was dark last night, so I didn't have an opportunity to write. I am on the road again, just for a short time here. We stayed at Chestnut Knob Shelter last night, so we ended up doing like 18 miles yesterday, I think. Something around 18 miles yesterday, while also taking like 3 hours to go into town, resupply, eat some Subway, and we still got there at like 7 o'clock, so that was pretty good timing for us. I think there's a creek that got hooked didn't tell us about. We were now doing having to do 10-mile water carries because it's not rained much this spring, and then we're just in a drier section of trail anyways, and so yeah, it's meaning 10-mile water carries, which is not fun. So we got a hostel booked for tomorrow night. So, and we're 30 miles away from there yet. 33 miles away from there yet. So we wanted to do 18 to 20 today. And then have a shorter day tomorrow. I have a cobweb hanging off my legs. Yeah, so we wanted to do 18-20 today, and then be able to do shorter day tomorrow to get into the hostel a little earlier. But there is of course no water from mile 15 and a half to 24. So that means we're either doing 15 and a half or we're doing 24. We're not sure which yet. So, back up. So yeah, I'm gonna do like 8.5 this morning. There's a swimming hole. I'll probably stop there. And then probably go on to that last water. Meet my dad there, hopefully. And then decide what we're doing. But a promising sign, there's a creek here that I don't think was on Gut Hook. It's got some water. So that's a better sign that maybe we won't be all day without water. So I clambered down the cliffs over here, and went swimming down underneath the waterfall, or down by the waterfall, whatever. So now I'm gonna have to hike in very soggy shorts for a while till they dry off. I was told that you could jump from one of these cliffs down there and it was deep enough, but let's be honest, I'm not trusting of those sort of things. So I clambered, and then I clambered back up, and it was cold, a little slimy down there, but I think it was worth it. It was pretty fun. It wasn't really swimming, it was I dipped in, dipped out, got my hair wet. But yeah, now I need to pack up my stuff and keep hiking. I don't know how long we're going yet today. This is the most fucking accurate representation of my day. Fucking empty box of fucking trail magic. Good morning. I have no idea what day it is. All I know is today is the day we go into Pearisburg, and I get to finally ship all the stuff that doesn't fit in my pack. I get to ship a lot of it home. Won't be carrying 2 fleeces. I've been carrying 2 fleeces for 400 miles now. It makes a great pillowcase. Second one makes a great pillowcase, but definitely doesn't fit the pack great. There's a new sleeping pad. That's going to be amazing, I hope. could just send this one that makes my hip sit on the ground all the time. Send that thing home. And eat some real food. I think there might be McDonald's or some sort of good fast food. So, chicken nuggets. Yesterday was terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. We did 24 miles and stayed at Chestnut Knob Shelter. And I think every single one of those 24 miles was absolutely horrible. I managed to roll my ankle and fall on probably the flattest part of the entire 2,193 miles. I tripped on every single flat rock, like I just did. Every single one I tripped on, I slid off of stuff, slid on piles of dirt, or, just loose dirt. Every rock that I stepped on to step over it rolled or shifted. Somehow my elbow started hurting, and then my legs itch like none other. My ankles itch. I managed to step on some rocks on the blisters on my heels a couple of times on some sharp rocks. That was terrible. Everything was terrible yesterday. The only good part yesterday was I had decided to do the 0.3 side trail to waterfalls and swimming hole. And that 0.3 there and back, so I did 0.6 yesterday. So really I did like 24.6 yesterday. That 0.6 of miles of hiking was pretty good hiking. And then even the waterfalls itself wasn't that great, but the swimming was nice. That was the only enjoyable part of my day yesterday. Couldn't even stop yesterday and get a drink or have a snack, because if you stopped, the bugs just mauled you. It was flies, it was mosquitoes, it was gnats, it was just freaking everything. Just mauled you, flew into your eyes, bit your legs. It was terrible. But because we did 24 yesterday, we only have 9 or 10 into Pearisburg this morning. Now I think that 9 or 10 includes a decent climb and then a really steep downhill. But it is what it is. And then I think that after Pearisburg is supposedly Pennsylvania rock fields. So that's not going to be fun. This is Angel's Rest Rock, I guess. Let's see, up and over into town.